Happy Monday. And of course, happy Money Monday to each and every one of you all. I do hope that you are shining bright on today. And I should say, not just today, but every day. Because there's always something to just smile about. And I don't know about you, but when I smile, I feel better. And I don't know. I'm just in this mood right now to where I just was really in this moment, in this current moment. I'm sitting here thinking about it. It's just like, wow. It's took. Sometimes I'm like, I look at myself and I'm like, wow, I am kind of a lot. But when I look back, you know how they say in church sometimes they be like, when I look back over my life, that's how I feel right now. It's like when I look back over my life and I fought hard for the joy that I have these days. And so for someone that might say that, oh my gosh, you're too happy, you smile too much, you're too full of joy. Well, I gotta make up for all those dark days. But anyway, I do hope that each and every one of you all is having an amazing day. It's Monday, and the more we can start our week off with motivation, I think the easier the week will be. So, I'm not going to waste too much time. I don't know. I really haven't been having too much to say here recently. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've kind of been a little off the map. Because why? I'm doing the same thing that hopefully you all should be doing too. And that is focusing on Project Me. Project You. The end of the year is quickly approaching us, and I want to be ready. And we're really in a season of decisions. I said season and decisions together, but we are really in a season where there's lots of decisions that have to be made. Anytime uh, people put so much emphasis on the start of a new year and all these New Year's resolutions and all of that. And personally, I don't believe in that. However, I do feel like the start of the year is a good time to start doing some things, because it's like you have this clean slate and it's almost like everything is anew. So it is a good time to start doing things. But I feel like being in that mode of, ooh, I got these New Year's resolutions, most of the time they don't last too long. So the end of the year is definitely approaching us though, and we all do have some decisions that we have to make. And I wanted to speak briefly when it comes to us focusing on that key component, that key question that I spoke about on this past week, which is, what are some of the things that we need to let go in 2025 so that we can ensure that 2026 is our best year? So I want to marinate on that just a little bit. So I know in my life, I like to approach many things in my life, almost everything that it applies to. I look at whatever it is in my life, and I like to put it into two categories. And that is this thing, this person, this place, this habit, whatever it might be, is this an asset or is it a liability? And that's how we have to look at things in our life. Because if something is a liability, which I got to be careful, because a lot of y'all might be dropping y'all's women, because most of them are liabilities, unfortunately. But and that's a whole nother topic. But I do want to say, like, that's something that I know this is not no dating show or anything like that, but that's something that I never really understood when it came to, many times a lot of these significant others in our life are not assets. They're not adding anything. I mean, or they might be adding some things, but they're more of a liability than an asset. And it's quite unfortunate, because in this day and age, I mean, I would hate to be a man, because women, they're views on relationships and what men are supposed to do is just, to me, it's just quite interesting to say the least. Because I just could never wrap my head around men. And I get men are supposed to be the providers, the head of the house, and this is that and the other. But I just never really understood the expectation right off the bat, where women expect men to do all these things for them, pay for them to get their nails done, cash at them, this, that, pay their bills, and do all of this stuff. I don't understand it, because from my point of view, I always thought it was an even exchange. Because I mean, yeah, they might be getting something, but you're getting something too. So I mean, you're both getting pleasure, you're both getting companionship and all of those things. So the expectation of women these days, to me, is just quite crazy. And I know me, in the dating room, for me, I can say, looking back now, that I dated a lot from my own insecurities. But it's just about making sure that whatever it is, I don't know, I was just thinking about that, and it's just like, I don't know. I don't. That's something to me that's just very interesting when we're talking about liabilities. I mean, that's something that I don't know. I just would hate to be a man out here these days. But when we're looking at the things in our life and things that we need to let go of, I mean, some of y'all might need to let go of some of these relationships, because how can you really focus on building yourself if you're constantly having to please this other individual? I mean, we have to make it make sense. But when it comes to, people, places, things that we are committed to, sometimes we are overcommitting ourselves to things that we don't necessarily need to be committing ourselves to. Trying to help everybody out in your family, trying to do this, that, and the other. Does it make sense? Is that something that you really want to carry into the new year, when we're talking about focusing on being the best version of ourselves, being focusing on Project Us, making it our best year yet? These are things that we have to consider. And so, like I say, when I'm looking at my life, I'm always, assessing, okay, is this an asset in my life? Is this a liability in my life? And if it is a liability, depending on how great of a liability it is, then I'm going to release that from my life. And I think that it's important for us to just be mindful of that and do the same if you need to, because we have to think about what really makes sense for us to really be able to achieve our goals, and to be able to really do the things that we're trying to do in our life. Everything can't go. So I'm going to leave it at that. And just hope that you all will take that time to really assess. I know that's something that I have been doing in my life. Really, I've been assessing over the last several months. But what I'm really trying to do. How am I really going to uh, scale and start doing the things that I need to do in other business areas, and looking at, okay, what is really an asset and what is a liability? What am I giving so much time to, or giving too much time to, that I could be focusing on building other areas that's going to be more beneficial, that's going to really help reach the ultimate goal? The for me, the ultimate goal is um well, I'm not even going to get into all that, because that doesn't matter. But I know for myself what my goals and my priorities are, and I'm having to really take the time to look at, okay, what makes sense for me to be able to reach that. And when you sit down and really think about it and take the time to do so, it really does become clear. And when you ask for the guidance, when you ask for the clarity, and look for the signs, I can almost guarantee you that it will appear and show itself forth, so that you can make the proper moves. So this is just a continued cheers. I don't even know. I don't think it's cheers yet, but a continued, I don't even know the word, but um, a continued progression on our journey to building the best year yet in 2026. I know I am so excited about it because I just really believe that 2026 is going to be a special year for myself and hopefully for you all as well, because it's all about putting your mind in that mind frame to be open to receive what is going to present itself in this upcoming year. It's going to be some great things. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this week's Light Later. So excited about it. Let's see. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I think I did enough talking. Hope it made sense. Look, I be when I'm actually speaking live and in the moment, I'd be like, man, I don't know if that makes sense. But then a lot of times when I go back and watch it, I'm like, ah, it's not that bad. But I'm just a hyper. I'm I don't want to use the word critical, but I am. I'm kind of critical of. I'm very hypercritical of myself, and that's that perfectionism that I'm trying to work on, because that's something that I've had to realize too as I'm closing out this year and looking at some of the things that I could do better, and that's something I know personally that take a lot of time doing things a lot of times because I want things to be perfect, and I'm learning how to navigate through understanding that things aren't always going to be perfect, and um, realizing that is it worth the perfection, like putting it on the scale, the amount of time it takes for perfection and then the amount of time that could be used on other things. So it's a part of time management, and that's why I really love, as we go throughout these months, being able to go over these different topics, because it really puts those things back on the forefront of my mind, at least to be able to consider, like, okay, I need to work on this. So anyway, good evening. Good evening. How are you, beautiful? Good evening. All right, let's get into this week's Light Later. I think it's time for me to be quiet. All right. So as you can see, this is our will for this week. So congratulations if you have made it on the will. Congratulations to you. So what I did this week is, those of you who engaged in our weekly spotlight post this past week, you are on here twice, and then for every other time that anyone interacted with us over this past week, then you are also on the wheel. So let's go ahead and spin this and see who this week's Light Lighter is going to be. All right. Congratulations to you, Miss, Mrs. Constance. Congratulations to you. You are this week's Light Lighter. Let's go ahead and see what you are going to be lit up with on this evening. We'll go ahead and shuffle a couple times. Why not? Girl, I don't know what's been going on with these amounts. They have been low, but if you have been lit up these last couple of weeks, I have been sending more than what this will has been giving us, because I like to put a little cherry on top. It's nothing wrong with that. But congratulations to you, Mrs. Constance. You are so deserving. She is my baby girl's little best friend. She's always bringing her little snacks and treats, and just really being in toys and everything. So we are so thankful and grateful for you here at Inspire with Indy, and congratulations on being this week's Light Lighter. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get on up out of here. I think I've said enough. I do have something that I do want to speak about on next week. I'm not going to tell you yet, but it was something that I talked about maybe last week or the week before, but I didn't get fully into it. But it's something that a question that was asked probably a couple of months ago now, but that is something before this year comes to a closure that I really want to go over, because I really think that it's going to be helpful to at least somebody. And I'm excited to be able to share that with you all on next week if life says the same. So I'm going to go ahead and sign on out of here. Hope that each and every one of you all has a marvelous rest of your Monday night, and that you fill it with so many smiles, so many smiles, so many smiles. I know you got something in life to smile about. And I look forward to seeing you all on next week. You all take care, walk in peace, walk in love, and most of all, and most importantly, be sure that you are walking in gratitude. You all have a great night.